Welcome back, Halo fans, to DreamHack Atlanta for the HCS Summer Pro League Finals. Here by my side now, Butters and Strongside as well. Last minute edition, bit of a surprise, wasn't expecting you here, but regardless, we now have Envy versus Optic in the elimination final. What a game we have ahead of us. Envy being able to have that chance at a second stab of Optic. They got 3-0 by them yesterday. How do you think they're going to do?
I mean, I feel like they've just kickstarted the engine once again. This is their thing. This is what they do every single time. They make it as hard as they can on themselves and put themselves literally backs up against the wall. They were down 2-0, about to be eliminated, and they pull the reverse sweep and they bring it back. We saw at Daytona, they fought and battled their way all the way back, reset the series against Optic to defeat them. How many times has that happened? We've heard that story over and over again at Halo World Championships. They got knocked down to the elimination bracket early on, and they battled upon battle upon battle, just kept winning over and over, reset this. Like, it's just insane. It's insane how much Team Envyus just, it's like they want to play through the elimination bracket.
And they just reverse swept Liquid as well, Buzz. Did you watch that series?
Yes, I did. It was a fantastic series, but here's the thing. All right, so Splice already ruined the morale of Optic fans and Optic itself, winning 4 in a row. That was insane. But see, this is the thing that Optic does very well, as they shut down the enemy team's star player, and in this case, it's Hook. He has been doing phenomenally great. Splice, everybody was a star player in that Splice series, so they didn't know who to shut down. If they shut down Hook, they could literally probably do the exact same thing what they did yesterday with Envy, but Envy super hyped, they're feeling good, and everybody's giving them high fives saying they're doing a fantastic job. They're not what's the word I'm looking for? Man, I'm confused.
You're looking for a word.
You're looking for a
it's
word.
It's okay. Either way, let's take a look
Dang.
at the championship bracket and see how we actually ended up here at the elimination final. Of course, we've had some fantastic games across the weekend. You can see everything on your screens there from round 1 all the way to the finals. And you can see Splice, not Optic, Splice awaiting in the grand finals. Down in the elimination bracket, we now have Envy versus Optic. Something that perhaps people weren't expecting. Mike, as you said, Optic had never dropped from a winner's bracket finals. They've always made that grand final. They wouldn't have been expecting to be here, but I'm going to pose a question to you. Would you rather be facing an Optic that's in a grand final or an Optic that's just lost a game? Because surely they're going to be out for blood.
I mean, honestly, that probably startled them, though. I'd rather be facing this Optic right here because, you know, they could be questioning what just happened. Splice manhandled them in game number 2, 50-22 in Slayer, excuse me. But like, that doesn't happen to Optic Gaming. That doesn't happen to them. If you're Team Envyus, you're coming off a fresh reverse sweep, going up against a squad that was just taken down by Splice, you're probably feeling pretty good, especially with how, Butters, you were saying, Hook is playing out of his mind. So if they can keep up that momentum, keep up that intensity, we could surely potentially see, I mean, God forbid, Optic may not be in the grand finals.
Don't you say it. How dare you? It's not going to happen. The Green Wall won't be happy, Mike. But it might. Who knows? They looked scared. I'm going to be honest. When they're playing against Splice, as they were about to lose, I think it was when they were 2-1 down, they looked scared. I saw fear in the eyes of some of these players that I have not seen ever. They should be unbeatable. They're the world champions, Mike. Double world champions.
And not only, excuse me for the interruption, not only that, but Envy just coming off a hot game, so they're warmed up as can be. Meanwhile, Optic sitting back trying to think of a play on what they can do to break this Envy's defense and their aggressive offense.
Well, you know what's important? It's a series layout. The maps that we're going to see, it's a best of 7 here in the elimination finals. Plaza Strongholds is the first game, followed by Regret Slayer, Coliseum Capture the Flag, Rig Strongholds, Truth Slayer, Fathom Capture the Flag, and then if we need it, we have an Eden Slayer there as well. How far do we think this is going to go, guys? Because as I said, they've played already in the winner's bracket. Optic 3-0'd Envy. How do you see this one playing out, Butters?
Get best of 7 so far. I haven't done too good in the past, but right now Envy's, they're not wanting to lose this, and neither is Optic. So if they have to hide for the whole 12 minutes, that's exactly what it's going to happen.
All right, then quick predictions from you both. Butters, who's going to win this? That's
Optic,
not quick.
Optic.
And for you,
I'm
Strongside?
taking the opposite. We're going Team Envyus here.
Team Envyus for Strongside, but it's going to be the opposite for Butters. How about we find out what our casters have to say? It's going to be Elamite. It's going to be Wonderboy. Guys, take it away.
All right,
Thank you so much, Gaskin. Yes, Wonderboy and Eelmite here getting ready to bring you the action from the Xfinity desk here for Optic Gaming going up against Team Envyus. And this is not even the championship finals or grand finals here. This is the losers finals, something we have never seen before.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that, right? I mean, these two teams have been in grand finals before. They've been in winners bracket finals. We're used to seeing these guys up there at the top, but they're fighting for a place to fight Splice in the final. They were the team to take down Optic Gaming, the team to dethrone them for now and send them for the first time ever into this losers bracket final. So this is going to be a great game, man. The guys on the desk said it themselves, Envyus, they're coming in hot. They've played more games today than Optic Gaming has, and Optic Gaming have just had their world rocked, honestly, against Splice. So it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back. Game 1 is going to be Strongholds Plaza. I can't wait to get into this one.
Yeah, and I want to start this one off with Hook because this is the guy that has been leading the charge here on Championship Sunday with some of the best performances we have seen from him in quite a long time, and he is not disappointing already. Fantastic shots onto Frosty. Hook picks up that first kill.
Yeah, first kill going to Hook, and Hook's been really impressive so far this tournament. He really has just been the standout superstar player for Team Envyus. The other guy I want to also keep an eye on, we haven't seen too much this tournament, Snipedown. He's been playing really well despite his hand injury, but while we're saying all this though, Kyle, it's actually Optic Gaming with control. They have both the Yard and the Nest, which is kind of unorthodox you see at the start of Plaza Strongholds.
Yeah, but that is a triple cap here coming out for Optic Gaming, so they are looking to close this one out early. Snipedown doing what he can to focus on Yard. That is almost being captured. Frosty overcommits a little bit, didn't recognize two members of Envy were in fact there in Yard. Didn't get the help from Top Gold quite quickly enough. Lethal forced to charge into the Yard. That is going to be the first numbers advantage here for Team Envyus as they try to push back out of Yard and focus their attention on Nest.
So what's interesting right here, while we're watching Snipedown do this kind of flank over towards Nest, as he gets a perfect kill there on Lethal, Snakebite's actually behind the entire team trying to take the Yard. He's actually rotated around to bottom middle. That's where you see the nades from, and I wanted to hop over to the man because he had shotgun there as well. He did have the camouflage, that's run out, but this man so far on a killing spree to start this game. He's a real hot hand so far.
And that is one of the risks. They started, or Team Envyus started going for bottom mid while Snipedown was going for Nest, and some of the downsides there is sometimes somebody will fly in with a camo shotgun, pick up both kills, and all of a sudden what almost was a triple cap for you turns into just having to play from scratch again.
And that's exactly what's just happened. I mean, Snakebite and the boys all collapsing on the Yard right there. It's fantastic play. I mean, when you all overcommit to the Yard, you almost want to do it entirely with your team. So you get those slays together and then push back out. That's exactly what's happening right now for Optic Gaming. The reset comes in on the Nest, and this triple cap total control is still rolling. And what's worrying for Envyus is they're dying one by one with no trades coming in here, Kyle. So it's going to be tough for them to get a foothold back into the game. Snakebite, by the way, I don't think he's died.
Yeah, he might not have. This has been extremely impressive as they hit the 50-point mark. Snakebite grabbing himself camo. You can see in that kill feed there, double kill going over to Lethal. Great job dodging grenades, and yet again, Optic Gaming starting to run away from this one. The real question is this going to be similar to last series against Team Liquid, where Envyus does go down in early 0-2, maybe even in 0-3, because keep in mind, we are back up to best of 7s now.
Yeah, if they do that against Optic Gaming, though, all it takes is one mistake and Optic Gaming will be right at your necks. You can see so far this game has been all Optic Gaming, and Snakebite is just playing this so sneaky, so patient, and he's one of my favorite players to watch, man. This guy just makes all the right decisions and once again is rewarded with camouflage shotgun. It's not often you see that more than one time in a game. 2 kills though from Snipedown in the kill feed will help things out, and Envyus finally put their first point on the board, but a frenzy from Snakebite to start this series off. That's really worrying if you're a Team Envyus fan, and I know there's a lot in the building right now.
I mean, these guys lost the Splice earlier. I guarantee you they went back to the drawing board, had a couple conversations, everyone refocused on the same page, and it is starting to demonstrate that here right now. 70-1, which means the only control Envy has had has only literally been for 2 seconds or so before that stronghold was recaptured by Optic Gaming. And look at what Snakebite's doing right now too. In that kill feed, 3 down for Team Envy's. He still has the shotgun in his back pocket. He does not want to put this weapon on respawn because he doesn't even want to go over to Yard or give that Envy an opportunity to pick up that off respawn.
You know what's so fantastic about the gameplay we're seeing from Snakebite? He's so proactive. Yeah, sure, he's on a killing frenzy right now, but he's not like he's sitting back and hiding in corners, kind of protecting his stats, right? He's constantly being a proactive player on the map, clearing out those strongholds, getting the resets, getting the captures. And man, this guy, he's just so elusive. You can't kill this man right now. I think Snakebite is pretty angry to find himself in the losers bracket final, and you can see right now, him and the team, they are just absolutely shutting out this Team Envyus team.
Just amazing shots, amazing map movement. We've been seeing that all day here today. The amount of times they've been able to just jump around, clamber away, using different elevations to dodge grenades blowing up above and below them. Still a triple cap, which means if one of these strongholds does not go over to Envyus in about the next second, actually that's about all she wrote here for game number 1. Holy cow, Optic Gaming bounces back.
Oh my, that was something special. The E-Classico, the first game. Plaza Strongholds, Envyus gets the 1 point, the breadstick. Just the 1 kill. That's, I mean, the 1 point, excuse me, the 1 point of Strongholds in almost 5 minutes of play. That is just something special.
Yeah, I mean, 0 assists coming out here from Snipedown, Hook Pistol, and Mikwin. Nobody really able to get anything going. Snakebite leading the charge here for his team. Lethal having a fantastic game as well. Really, I mean, just across the board, you're not going to win a game in under 5 minutes, 100-1, without the whole team going off. Kind of reminds me of that Team Liquid versus Luminosity match where Stellar was 20-5 to open up that game. Had this one gone a little bit longer, we would have seen something very similar from Snakebite here.
Yeah, Snakebite going off 12-1. Lethal actually had a very good game as well. I haven't seen too much of his gameplay so far this tournament. Almost want to start the next game off with him, but Frosty has been kind of lackluster, honestly, this tournament so far. He's, usually Frosty is that guy who's making the plays, is being statistically very strong, as well as individually in the game, being a very strong player as well. But just the 3 kills from him this time round. Although his team won the game, and they only dropped a single point, he won't be caring about his statistics too much. Almost want to see those numbers kind of be elevated, because you can see his KDA throughout the regular season is up there with the best of them.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this isn't a guy that normally has more deaths than kills here for his team. He is normally that guy that is leading the charge, that is heavily outslaying the enemy team, always in positions, picking up, massive amounts of assists and making those sneaky-like plays. And sure enough, scoreboard and stats don't always reflect how someone performed in an individual game. And just to highlight once more, you do not win a game 100-1 without the whole squad going off.
Absolutely. The whole squad definitely on point right there. Kind of independent kind of situation right here, in my opinion. The fact that Envyus lose game 1 is bad, but I want to talk about Optic Gaming's coach, right? I mean, they won the World Championships with this guy. I believe it's Clutch, right? Coaching Optic this event. However, they didn't win out there in Daytona, and they find themselves out in the losers bracket here at the season finals. Do you think missing Royal One, the normal coach, the regular coach here for Optic Gaming, do you think that plays into kind of the scenario that we see Optic Gaming in here at DreamHack Atlanta?
I don't think it plays too much of a factor, because Clutch is a great coach who already has a lot of experience here with this team. I mean, this Optic Gaming roster could probably not have a coach right now and find themselves in a similar situation. That is how good and talented each and every one of these players are here. And of course, you're still looking at them on your screen as we will go into game number 2 very shortly here. Team Envyus was on a 3-game win streak. Already talked about that reverse sweep over Team Liquid, but now 100-1 in that first game against Optic Gaming. This was something I don't think we were expecting to see. Optic Gaming fans, the green wall out there's got to be happy to see their team bouncing back after a pretty dismal performance against Splice earlier, so they are out there looking for revenge.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dismal performance against Splice. I mean, Splice looked like they had their number pretty much.
Splice looked a whole lot like Optic Gaming.
They did, exactly. I mean, we talked about that on the desk, actually, how it's usually Optic Gaming kind of laying the traps in-game. It was Splice that had Optic's number that time round. So this whole series is a warm-up for Optic Gaming to start getting them back into the rhythm of laying those traps and getting back into the rhythm of playing in tournament play and getting themselves warmed up for that rematch. But obviously, Envyus, the boys on screen, that man on screen especially, is a guy that wants to prevent that from happening. They want to see Optic Gaming out in 3rd place here at DreamHack.
And the tweet coming in here. Pretty clever one. Hook Skywalker is Luke's doppelganger that did go to the dark side here, HCS. So this is definitely going to be a player I am looking to bounce back here in this game. Hook is capable, even, let's say, rewind to Halo World Championships 2016, moving through summer 2016 finals and fall finals. I had put Hook in my top 5 of players. All 4 of Optic Gaming, plus Hook. Now, he is still up towards that level. There's been a lot of other players that have caught up in that skill gap, but he is going back to his form. I thought he had a little bit of a rocky pro league compared to what his potential is, but it all comes down to the finals here, and he sure is showing up.
Yeah, it's usually kind of the Mick wins, the snipe downs putting up the great stats. Obviously, Hook has been consistently one of the best players in North America for quite some time. He's always hitting the flashy shots, but he really is coming into his own, and I don't know whether or not that's because of his teammates maybe not having some of the best tournaments so far. I mean, you know, who knows really, but Hook really has been standing out, and he needs to stand out once again against this Optic Gaming team if they want to make the grand finals. And it's not the first time we've seen Envyus make a losers bracket run as well. If you remember back to the Halo World Championships, they were forced to do that. We know they can do it. It's about whether or not they can do it against this Optic Gaming team they're used to seeing in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, Envyus is a team that almost always rises to the occasion, especially when everything is on the line here. So if you're taking a look at your screen, we're comparing the stats here between these guys. Frosty and Lethal, Snakebite, Royal 2, especially pointing out Royal 2, 2.46 KDA, significantly higher than anyone else in that game. So it kind of stands out as one of the main slayers for the team. And then Snakebite still at 1.9 while maintaining so much objective play that we see from him. That is why lots of people put Snakebite as the #1 player in the game. This is going to be Team Envyus needing to step up here. However, Team Envyus is one of those guys, one of those squads that we've seen beat teams like Optic Gaming while being outslayed in some objective game types.
Yeah, we have seen that from Envyus in the past. Going into the next game, though, those kind of statistics are going to be very important considering this is a Slayer. This is Slayer on regret. That carbine you see on the screen, actually, we don't really see that over on the European side of the game, but North Americans absolutely love using this weapon off the start to do so much damage, and you can see already Frosty with the first kill, snipe down absolutely melted, but it seems like Optic, once they got that first kill just then, completely forgot about the power-up, and it's going to be the first overshield of the game, which, by the way, comes up every 2 minutes.
What overshield are you talking about there? Because I don't see any on Hook. As 3 kills go over to Optic, even with Envy getting the overshield, and that thing was just melted off of him.
Yeah, that was super quick, actually. I didn't even realize Hook was getting drilled so much, and at the start of this game, he's definitely coming under a lot of pressure, so maybe that's an intended game plan right there. Maybe a starting strategy from Optic to say, hey, we'll get the first kill, we'll go around, and we'll let them have the overshield, that's fine, but we're just going to use our concentrated team fire to take him out.
Yeah, and as you can see here, we are watching. Let's go ahead and stay here on board with Lethal as he comes off the respawn over towards blue base. Nice little spread here for Optic Gaming. About to have 2 members top center, 1 top car, another one potentially top P here in just a moment. Still tied game 5-5, which is a little surprising considering how much action we've seen so far and some of those power-ups and power weapon grabs. Lethal has some solid shots there to then get 3 unanswered kills here, 8-5. Largest lead so far we've seen this game, although we're just over a minute in.
Yeah, just over a minute in, which means in around a minute's time, you're going to see both teams surrender this top control and drop down low for that overshield. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Lethal, right? I mean, last game we saw mostly Snakebite's point of view, and can you blame us, really? I mean, Snakebite was going off in that game, but Lethal was up there in the statistics as well as as Snakebite. So it's nice to see this man's point of view so far this game. 11-7 the score. That's a good lead for Optic Gaming. Another couple of kills in the next 10 or so seconds, they can drop down comfortably, and even if they lose the team fight for the overshield, they'll still be in a good position to maintain the lead going forwards.
Great communication here coming out from Optic Gaming, recognizing Lethal just being able to not be too tunnel visioned on one particular player and actually secure the kill on the No Shields Envy member bottom mid. Now that new overshield is getting ready to come up, so we're going to keep some eyes on here on who's going to be able to secure this one. Lots of action happening bottom center. Where did that overshield go? Looks like it was, in fact, well, it's absolutely gone now as members are dying left and right, still up by 3 kills. Nice job by Snipdown picking off Lethal. Back of the headshot to finish off the kill. Still, Optic Gaming doing an amazing job just maintaining a solid little lead. This new Plasma Caster, we've seen what players like Royal 2 are able to do with that during the Pro League, absolutely changing the outcome of games at times. And now we're seeing a 20-14. Royal 2 back with this weapon. Wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some serious Plasma Caster shots now.
Yeah, and this is the kind of period of the game, Kyle, where we're going to see Optic Gaming really start steaming into a lead. 23-15. That's a healthy 8-point lead. Don't forget, when they were fighting for that overshield, it was around a 4-point lead. So really nice job by Optic Gaming, despite them getting the overshield with Royal 2 and it being melted immediately. They're still maintaining top control, moving between bases right here, and you can see, as you said, Royal 2 in the regular season using this weapon on Regret. He's using it to his advantage right here at Finals as well.
Oh, and they're getting so many weapons and so many kills. What was once only 3 is up to 11, and they are starting to collapse again. What I'd like to do is go into an Optic Gaming Astro listen-in and find out if they're able to close out this game number 2.
I'm going back up top. Two top car. Careful, these guys. 2 blue bubble. Brad, play your life, and I'll help you out spawn. Or TJ. I got shot from left side. TJ, push that. Left side. No one. I got one. TJ. Where else? 3 dead. Push red. Cross on red. I'm getting off blue. We're looking for one.
10 seconds to Plasma Caster.
Alright, turn around. Push blue now. Pushing low. TJ, carry.
I'm going blue bridge. Give me a sec. Back blue, make super weak. One shot. You gotta get low. OX 10. OX 10. Knock down super weak.
BR.
Time is on red. 46. Alright.
Don't burn this. I get it.
Whatever you want. One answer red.
I'm pushing straight to red. Red needles. I'm going straight to
needles.
red.
I'm bridge. I don't see this red. Under red. One shot. Under red. Going under. Facing one straight to me. Needles on me.
Where else?
One top mid next to me.
I'm going top mid.
One shot mid one. One shot
I'm looking top mid. I'm not looking needles.
And above you, P. Nice.
Some cars me.
Still blue needles. Give me a sec, I can get
Nice shot, TJ.
One hit. Under blue bridge, FL. Push guy blue bridge.
Myself red bridge. Grab me
You're still left.
Blue
bridge, one top mid.
Blue window. Flanking blue needles. PJ, I'm looking blue needles.
One blue window.
Just
go up.
One top mid, Ola.
2 top mid. Blue bridge, top mid, blue wall, Ola.
I got Ola. I got one side, 2 of them. Alright, flanking him. One's behind us at red.
You street half health.
Make one blue.
Push red together, or we want to go blue?
Push bridge. 2 dead. Going up top. There was a guy on me.
Where's that?
I got 2 of them.
And what was once a 3-kill lead, like I said multiple times, has just been Optic Gaming running away with this one. However, it's still a lot similar to what we saw in the last series from Envyus, where they fall down early on, and then only when their backs are against the wall do they really rise to the occasion here. Now, doing that against a squad like Optic Gaming is going to be an entire another story.
It's a dangerous game plan.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you can't really do this against this Optic Gaming team. I mean, what a difference an overshield makes, though, right? I mean, I remember to the second overshield of the game when Optic Gaming were kind of fighting for it. It was around a 4-point lead, and now look at this lead they have. This game is over.
Yeah, and I don't even know what just happened that game. That was literally Optic Gaming, close start, back and forth, contesting overshield, nobody giving up too many free deaths, and then you could hear it in the communication from Optic Gaming. All right, everyone switch, turn back to blue. All right, wait for help. I've got Plasma Caster. Great small talk, great job working together, and holy cow, yeah, how many assists is that? 49, 50 assists? Is that 50 assists on 50 kills?
Don't ask me to do math, man. Come on. You do math? Come on.
I'm looking at it. Yeah, I mean, that's 50 assists on 50 kills, unless I'm just crazy right now. And that is insane. Every single kill essentially assisted by a team member from Optic Gaming. That is incredible. Sometimes, but very rarely do you see games where there are more assists than kills in it. It does occasionally happen, but a Team Slayer map like Regret, of all maps, where there aren't that many lines of sight, where there's so many individual battles and Plasma Caster shots happening. Speaking of that one, P2, that one was just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Royal 2 putting that weapon to use. Probably one of the best with it in the game. That nade from Frosty shows you the experience and skill level these guys have. They know all of the nerd nades, all of the nooks and crannies here on these maps, and that is how you can come up and beat a team like Envyus, one of the best we've ever seen in Halo 5 in the entire world, and only hold them to 22 kills.
Yeah, just 22 kills, and you're absolutely right in saying Team Envyus, one of the best in the world. This is the best of the best going up against each other. A couple of shout-outs to make based on the stats in the last game. Royal 2, 15 kills, most in the game, 4 deaths, least in the game. So really nice to see him firing. Lethal as well, contributing 10 kills and 16 assists. So that is over 26 kills he's helping his team towards. And also, I said before the game, Frosty, statistics-wise, not really been the strongest this tournament. Actually, obviously in a game like that, you're going to have some lopsided statistics based on the eventual scoreline, but 14 kills, 6 deaths, again, that's a really nice confidence-boosting stat line, and maybe that's what Optic are treating this series as right now. I know there's a lot of Optic fans, Envy fans in the house, but right now Optic, they're on a roll, and I think they are treating this like a confidence boost. They're expecting the rematch against Splyce.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think, though, that these guys need any sort of confidence boost. These guys, you know, and we've looked at Snakebite before. He's like a stone-cold killer. He is here for one thing, and that is to win this tournament. He doesn't care about anything else happening at this moment right now besides that goal. We've heard from him in interviews before. He wants to go down as one of the best, if not the best player, and ride this wave for as long as possible. And like he said, or when I was talking to him earlier, these guys recognize how much better some of the teams are getting, like Splyce, Liquid, and Envy, and they've been putting in even more time now, stepping up their game to make sure they can stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. I like how you highlighted Snakebite, actually. One of my favorite players in the game right now. The amount of work he puts in outside of the game to make sure his Optic team are constantly improving is second to none, really. I mean, the amount of work he puts in is unquestionable. Capture the flag on Coliseum, though. We saw this game yesterday against these two teams, if I'm not mistaken, and it was an interesting one, almost definitely. I want to start this one out actually on the Envyus side. Haven't seen too much of their point of view in this game. Let's start this one out with Hook, definitely one of the better players for Envyus this tournament, but they're going to need him to fire here early on Capture the Flag Coliseum if they want a chance back in this series.
All right, now some good shots going down here. Looks like Envy is pushing heavily, but already getting top rockets as well. So essentially getting the better of the opening here, I'd say. But just as I do that, Royal 2 answers back defensively with the DMR, grabs himself a double kill. Pistola brought the rockets all the way back to his own base, but is going to end up turning those over to Optic. Flag already pulled 30 seconds in. Several members dropping for both squads here. Now, I don't think Optic's going to be able to rotate this one across the map here quite yet, but you can just see what they're looking to do. They are not letting Envy get back into this one. They are looking to close this out.
So that key kill in the kill feed, you saw Royal 2 go down to a grenade. He actually had the sniper in the world-famous Royal 2 spot. I mean, where else would you expect him to be? Snipe down there, the rocket not quite connecting. Gonna look to see where the sniper actually went. I believe it's going to be in the hands of Miquin. Here we go. If he tagging some faces again, Envyus could get some map control and get back into the game, or back into the series as I should say, but the man we were talking about pre-series, Snakebite, the team captain of Optic Gaming, the amount of work he puts in outside of the game and even after the game, just making sure his team are on the same page is second to none.
All right, now we see Envy looking to move the flag across the map. They're running it over Sniper's side. We saw a great ground pound here coming out to get that past the 50-yard line here. Frosty answers back by doing a counter pull, grabs one kill, takes another player to no shields, and what was a great opening and opportunity for Envyus is turned into a new flag standoff.
Yeah, flag standoff right here, and I'm not too sure which way this one's going to go. I mean, we have the new rockets coming up in 15 seconds, Kyle, so look for Snakebite to try and anchor this position. Although he has the flag, it looks like actually a push is going to come in from Optic. You see Hook right there just throwing that flag out in the open, so his spawners on elbow can bait that or even pick it up if they choose to do so. And check out the kill feed as well. 2 Optic players going down, so for that reason alone, Snakebite's going to ditch the flag and try and push for the return himself.
Throwing flags out front of the base is something we've started to see a lot more as teams have improved in the CTF game types. You can see it a lot on Truth. You see it now on Coliseum as well with what Envy was doing because of this exact situation. If you die in your own base, you're normally coming off spawn bottom mid of your base or over towards Fountain side, and it takes you too long to run over and try to prevent a return from happening. Sure enough, they die. Snakebite gets, I think it was Snakebite, gets the return here, and all of a sudden Optic Gaming already up 1-0.
That's so cool to see from Snakebite. I mean, he had the flag in his own base, anchoring rockets, then 2 of his teammates die. He says, hey, you know what? You guys are going to respawn on this flag. No problem at all. Tell you what I'm going to do, man. I'm just going to drop this off for you guys. I'm going to flank down low. I'll get the reset. Don't worry. My name's Snakebite. You know, I just do these things. It comes natural. Sniper in 10, though. And if Hook can use this rocket to kill a player at snipe, as he does, takes down Frosty, then his team are going to be in a good position to pick up this new sniper. And in fact, Ola smartly leaving it here for Hook, and honestly wouldn't be surprised to see him start tagging faces as he almost connects on the no-scope to the face.
Yeah, that would have definitely been an insane headshot should he have hit that one. And that was Pistola maybe getting a little bit too greedy going for that sniper rifle with Snakebite bottom center, as he was no shields as he picked up that kill. Great headshot coming out of Snipe Down. He is focused. He is wanting to get his team back into this. He is not going to be somebody that is scared of this Optic Gaming roster here. I would like to see him reload here pretty soon, though. Oh, he's not able to connect on that one. You know, you like where his head was at, trying to make sure that he puts that to good use. Does finally hit that no-scope onto Royal 2, but will be cleaned up now by Lethal.
Yeah, and Lethal's going to be able to grab that sniper as well. Oh my lord, that's going to swing the momentum right back in Optic's favor. He has the sniper in the prime position. Any Envyus spawners coming back into the base are going to meet a bullet to the skull as Lethal goes off, and the flag's starting to move right now with Frosty. He will go down, but new rockets coming up. Snakebite again contesting these. His head is constantly in the game. But it looks like Royal 2 here will get a touch on the flag before his return. Want to see where the rockets go. Looks like it's going to be to an Envyus member.
And if you were watching that player feed there, you saw Lethal hit that no-scope. He did not blink. He did not smile. He had no facial reactions whatsoever. That is going to show you how focused these guys are and how badly they are wanting this win.
Yeah, that man's got ice in his veins. Another man who does so is actually Pistola. You can see in the kill feed, he will actually stay alive for now, but Royal 2 here is actually looking for Pistola. The cluster luck, 2 for 1 grenade right there. Could be a triple if he doesn't choke, and he doesn't. Will get the sniper. No triple for him though, but Royal 2 with the snipe. You know what this means, Kyle. He's going to be finding faces. See you later, Hook.
I mean, he just killed, that wasn't an overkill, but he just killed all 4 members with that last sniper rifle shot. That just shows you, you give an inch, they take a mile. Snipe Down almost clutching it up with a no-scope of his own there as he's going up the lift, which would have been insane in and of itself. And Royal 2 with the last shot alive puts that to use, rips yet another face here. As far as the slays, somehow Envyus managing to hang in it a little bit. It's 42-37 overall.
Yeah, looking at these kills, it's actually, I do believe, Envyus winning the slaying battle right now, which is kind of weird to what we're seeing on stream. Miquin, if he wins this fight, this would be a real big confidence boost, but he will go down. Let's stay on board with the Envyus side. Pistola here is coming off the respawn card.
And he did not just lose that fight, he got destroyed. He missed his melee, wasn't able to connect on the shots. Snakebite shields came back, and he committed a challenge. Miquin picking up the kill. That is a heartbreaking death to have if you're Miquin.
Yeah, Lethal right now is running the flag as well here for Optic Gaming. Key point in the game as well, 6-minute mark. That means Sniper and Rockets both coming up on the map as well. So both teams with these flag runs have decisions to make. Do they play for the power weapons? Do they go for the reset? Or do they go to focus on their own flag carrier? You know, do they protect the flag? Do they go offensive? Do they go defensive? It's going to be interesting to see the decisions made so far. That looks like a flag's going to be returned. And there you go. Lethal gets the capture. 2-0 Optic.
2-0. And keep in mind, this is a best of 7, so we will at least see one more game after this, should Optic Gaming be able to close this one out. Frosty has found the sniper rifle. We've seen every member here on this squad is hot with this weapon currently. Puts a body shot on Snipe Down. And look at the patience here that you're seeing. 9 out of 10 players would have just challenged Cave there, but Frosty, no, he is playing it patiently, waiting for teammates. He does not want to turn this sniper rifle over.
Yeah, Snakebite has rockets as well, which means both power weapons into the hands of Optic Gaming. Frosty here kind of moving up to the Royal 2 spot. He's, again, going to do what Lethal did earlier on in the game with the sniper. He's just going to look for those spawners who are trying to push back into their own flag and just take faces. But looks like a teammate's actually leaving the flag for Frosty, who has the sniper. I'm not too sure why this is from Optic, but looks like Frosty's going to be having his shields taken down. And if he goes down right here, you have to say that might be a bit of a misplay from Optic.
Yeah, but he is not going down, and he is still picking up kills, still putting damage down here on these guys. Wall flag is moving across. If he's able to win this 1v1, grabs the body shot. Hook, fantastic job crouching. Frosty probably thought he had the headshot there, but did not quite get it to connect the way he wanted to. Sniper rifle is going to go over here to Hook. Great plasma nade, but no! Royal 2 winning another battle. Mikwin trying to relay the Optic Gaming flag, but as you see, members are dropping left and right. That's 2 dead. Numbers advantage over here to Optic Gaming, and they are trying to continue pushing this by a little additional time. It was a great toss to get that up in their window.
Oh, that's such an unfortunate cave spawn right there, though. I thought, honestly, his thinking right there was that he was blocking those spawns, and I thought the same as well, but Mikwin there spawning cave made all the plays that Royal 2 wanted to make completely obsolete. He wanted to just bait that flag knowing his own flag was on the enemy's window. He knew they had to push into the flag to get to window, otherwise they were going to get drilled by his teammates. But the cave spawn right there coming to bite him in the backside, and Lethal, we've seen him in the past with this objective piece, Kyle, really play quite aggressive. I wonder whether or not he might employ the same tactic here against Envyus.
Yeah, and as you see here, Lethal has that flag, playing some defense, working with Royal 2. He will help get that kill. 2 members go down. He's got to make a move, trying to get away here. Snipedown's got himself a double kill. Make that almost a triple kill. Frosty will be taken out. That is a triple.
Oh!
Make that an over. Is it going to be a kill tack? Oh, Pistola gets it. Come on now, Pistola. But no, either way, that is exactly what Envy wants here, as they do not care about clips. They care about the W. That is also rockets, a fresh pair of rockets in the hands of Pistola. 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes left to play here. Envyus looking to continue this series. You definitely do not want to go down 0-3 against Optic if you expect to be able to take that best of 7.
Seemed like momentum was in Envyus' favor, but check out the kill feed. All of Pistola's teammates went down the Rocket Mary. Oh my, from Pistola. Lethal picked up 2. Frosty's running the 3rd and final flag though for Optic Gaming, just as it seemed like Envyus were in the game. It's over. Optic Gaming take game number 3.
Even with those great rockets, some of the great heads-up plays, even with that overkill from a snipe down, that only bought his team a flag capture and maybe a couple or just like an extra minute in the game. Once Optic Gaming came off of that respawn, they were already relaying that last flag capture, and Pistola, he was the one that had the rockets with that Hail Mary one you pointed out, but still not going to be enough to overcome this powerhouse. Snakebite 21, 12, and 16. The kid is an absolute monster. We say it each and every game. He's just always making the right decisions.
Yeah. Optic Gaming outslaying Envyus 69-66. And Snakebite, again, the team captain, putting in a marquee performance, but it honestly looked like Team Envyus. They were back in the game, right? They got that flag capture. Pistola had a fresh set of rockets, and then turned around, looked at all of his teammates, and said, "Hey guys, why are you on respawn?" And then you remember it's just Optic Gaming things. That as soon as it seems like you're in the game, they're just gonna push you right back. And Pistola in the end was taken down, and the final flag was running by Frosty. So Optic Gaming just continuing their form. They're up 3-0 in the series, just 1 game away, Kyle, from the rematch with Splice.
Yeah, and they are looking forward to that. They're not trying to waste any time here in the elimination bracket, on their way to the grand finals. Snakebite focused, ready to play, ready to get this next game underway. We saw multiple triple kills there. We saw the overkill, what was almost a kill-tacular, should just a little bit of additional damage come in here before by Snipedown before Pistola picked up that kill here. And either way, even with all of that going in their favor, that Rocket Hail Mary, it was still Optic Gaming relaying the flag and actually securing number 3.
The question is, how does Envyus get back in this series? And I'm going to leave that open-ended. How do they get back in this series?
They gotta maintain or stick to their game plan here. Right now, they're playing Optic's game. Unfortunately for them, Optic's game right now is one that I don't even really recognize all that much. We always say you can't play Optic's pace, but the pace Optic is bringing is the fastest I've seen them play, I think, ever.
Which actually bodes very well for if they do rematch with Splice, because Splice were playing against Optic. When they were playing against Optic Gaming, honestly, it seemed like they were light years ahead, It seemed like they were playing so quick, and almost seemed like they were a step ahead of the Optic Gaming team, which we haven't really seen before. Obviously, we've seen Envyus teams in the past go toe-to-toe with Optic, but no team really taking a commanding lead in that series like Splice did against Optic. So, Envyus, they have the biggest fight against them right now. I mean, they would have to pull off a best-of-7 reverse sweep against the 2-time Halo World Champions.
Yeah, that would be a pretty epic year. Now, the one good news for Envyus is that should they come back from this deficit, they do not have to beat Optic Gaming again. Yes. It is not a continuation, or excuse me, not another best of 7 like they've had to do in the past. One of the most impressive performances we've ever seen going back to those fall finals. They only have to take 4 games. Now, those are 4 games in a row, which not many teams have ever done in the past besides now Splice here. But still, big, this Optic Gaming Greenwall squad. Everyone, all the fans watching at home, not looking to see that happen. Now, it looks like we are about to jump into the game. So if you're at home watching, or you're in the crowd here, and you're an Optic Gaming fan, let me hear you make some noise. Woo! A little bit in there, not much. Now, does anyone want to see an Envyus come back here? As that would be pretty legendary. Let's see lots of blue in the crowd.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
We'll see. We're starting to wake up a little bit.
I think Envyus probably the crowd favorites right here. We'll start this one off with Mikwin from Team Envyus. Definitely the crowd favorite, and I like how immediately he's pushing towards this scatter shot. We've seen in the past this weapon really control the pace of this map. You can get some really, really key kills in high positions of the map because of how close quarters this map is.
And we are here on board with Mikwin, who has that scatter shot. Now he's going to have scatter shot railgun, a combination we see a lot from Royal 2 here. Great shot, will get a one-shot scatter kill onto Frosty. Pistola grabs himself a kill as well. Oh no, what a terrible time to pop out. And you can see in the player cam, Mikwin hand off of the controller onto his forehead. He knows what a small mistake he made and what kind of a giant impact that might have over the course of this game.
It could be a massive impact. For those wondering, it was actually Optic Gaming to get the first camouflage, and that was with Lethal. But look at the kill feed, 3 Envyus players all going down at the same time. This is kind of a nightmare scenario for them, honestly, because they are going to surrender control, and now Optic Gaming knows exactly where you're spawning. That's a dangerous prospect against one of the best teams in the world.
And look what just happened to Mick when he had Scattershot Railgun, dies. You can see in the kill feed, there were 2 Scattershot and 1 Railgun kills going over to Optic. Then Mikwin comes off spawn in bunker, gets taken out again. That's how bad you can be punished for such a small, minuscule thing here when you're up against the best team in the world.
Yeah, total control because of that mistake. Obviously not entirely because of the mistake, but the 3 kills in a row from Optic Gaming really helping them out. Does Frosty contest this? I'm not too sure about that play, honestly, because now if his enemies do stay alive, which they do, they're going to have control of that weapon. It's going to be Mikwin with both DMR and that scatter shot now as well. Yeah. Albeit only 1 shot in it, Kyle. That's still not the best kind of push right there from Frosty.
He did, however, distract 3 members of Envyus over towards BR base, and his team did get the reset in Nest. So, yeah, if you're actually thinking about it, no, it worked out in their favor. Yeah, he didn't get a kill. Not much happened in their benefit, but still, you look at the scoreboard, hindsight 2020, wasn't that bad of a play.
No, it was not that bad of a play at all. It's Frosty with the railgun now as well. The man who distracted all the players, like you said, Kyle. Yeah, they got the reset on Nest. That was actually turns out to be a pretty good play from Frosty right there. And now he's just making even more good plays. 2 from Envyus go down, and while all this is happening, total control, 45-6, and oh no, the game drops.
All right, we'll take a look at how that happens, but that was definitely Optic Gaming having a phenomenal series. Lethal, you can see a little grin on his face, wondering what's going on here. He's got to be happy with how their team's playing. They are obviously continuing this momentum. We'll see how we'll treat this one when we get an update here, so just bear with us. You know, taking a look at the stats here, Snipedown was 2-7, a 1-4 from Hook, so he's sitting at that breadstick. On the other hand, looks like it was Royal 2 with 6-2. Actually, just across the board, everyone from Optic Gaming picking up a few kills, to positive ratio, and you know, running away with that game. Envyus, you can see their laughs on their faces as they might have just dodged a little bit of a bullet on that one here, because that game was quickly getting out of hand. So we will go ahead and get everything set up and jump back into this game here shortly. Now, do we see kind of a repeat of what happened? I know Mikwin's got to be feeling good because, like we said, he had that turnover of the scatter shot and railgun, and what normally would have been him, the one that's doing the Frosty-like things, grabbing double kills, shooting at people that don't even see him on the map, helping his team secure those camos, but instead dropped and turned those weapons over.
So this is kind of the period of the game, of the series, of the tournament, if you're Envyus, where you absolutely have to learn from your mistakes. The last game, although we only saw, around 2 minutes of the game, Optic had 5 power weapon kills with the scatter shot and the railgun compared to Envyus's 1. So, yeah, it's you absolutely have to, if you are Envyus, learn from your mistakes, right? Control the scatter shot, control the railgun, and you can't let Optic Gaming get those weapons. We saw Frosty get 2 railgun kills in a row. We've seen players from Optic Gaming in the past really put those weapons to use. So
yeah,
this is that, this kind of minuscule break could allow them to assess those mistakes and make sure they don't happen again.
Yeah, but that just shows you the teamwork of Optic Gaming. Frosty was there getting those kills, preventing Envyus from even contesting the camo and helping, I think it was Snakebite at the time, go ahead and grab that one. So you can just tell all of these guys are on the exact same page. They're all prepared to play. They have a game plan in place, whether or not they're having full control, full setup, whether or not they're trying to secure power-ups or power weapons. They all know what to do.
Absolutely. So Rick Strongholds is around loading up at the moment. We just want to make sure, obviously, everything is all fair and square. But Optic Gaming on Rick Strongholds, they look the real deal. I mean, we saw the mistake, obviously, from McWin. We can't put it all on that one mistake. But the amount of times we've seen Optic Gaming in game types get 3 or more kills in a certain period. I mean, I remember back to that Regret Slayer game earlier on in the series. They were getting 2, 3 kills and then getting control because of that. And if you're Envyus, you just absolutely can't let that happen again, because Optic Gaming, they do it so often. And if you give them power weapons thanks to those kills, as well as the map control, as well as the points, they're going to be getting power weapons to even extend that lead. So that's something that Envyus definitely need to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, being down 0-3 in the series, there's literally no time for mistakes anymore. They have to come out and they have to win these games. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No room for error. This is time to play perfect Halo.
No ifs, no buts, no coconuts. That's what we say in EU.
Yeah, we don't say that over here
No?
in NA, but either way.
I mean, you could spread the word if you want. I mean, it's a good saying, I think.
All right, as we're getting that test game loaded up, just make sure everything is set here and we won't have those issues. This is going to be Rig Strongholds once again. We are looking at a full replay here, and assuming Optic Gaming is just able to continue that momentum, it's going to be them flying.
I think it's safe to assume that Optic Gaming are going to be taking over that momentum, because they haven't shown anything else in this series so far. I mean, every single time we've seen them in these games, they've been taking control. I mean, we saw the first game, it was what, 100-1? We saw in the second game, Regret Slayer. I mean, that was a demolishing as well. So, yeah, I honestly, in my personal opinion, you can see the series layout at the moment. Rick Strongholds certainly, in my opinion, going to go into the hands of Optic Gaming.
And that was Rig Strongholds 45-6, so it's actually not going to be a full replay. What we are looking at is Optic Gaming will only need 55 points to win this game, while Envyus will have to get 94. Now, if I think back to previous Pro Leagues, we have had situations like that. The situation with Disconnect happened against Evil Geniuses in Envy. And Envyus went in Evil Geniuses needed like 10 points or something to take the game. Yeah. And Envyus went on a 95-point run to close that one out and take the series. So lots to do here for Envy, a lot to overcome. Optic Gaming comes out. You play well this first 2 minutes of this game, and you are going to rack up and accumulate those 55 points here. So, of course, if you're looking at the bottom of your screen, make sure you redeem your gold rec pack at halo.gg. Halo GA Finals here.
Stands for Georgia, right? GA? Yeah, look at me go.
That's a set, yep. Yeah,
I'm
you're
so
learning
proud.
now.
I'm so proud of myself. Mama, I'm learning.
Now, what's the capital of Georgia?
Atlanta.
Oh, you're
Look
good.
at me
I thought I was
go,
going to get you with a
2
trick
for 2.
question. No, but here we go. You're taking a look at your screen. Still, both of these teams getting ready to load up. And this is going to be the real game that we are looking at. So we're going to jump on with McWin. Somebody's looking to bounce back from a couple small mistakes here in that previous game. See how this one plays out as he already gets taken out here. Snipe Down answers back with the kill of himself, but that's a double going over to Frosty. And Railgun over to Hook, so Envy definitely waking up here for this next one.
Yeah, Hook here needs to stay alive, and he's doing so perfectly. This is a better start here for Team Envyus. We talked about in the pregame them keeping these weapons out of the hands of Optic Gaming. You cannot allow the 2-time world champs to be getting these weapons and using them against you. So Envyus taking care of this railgun, taking care of the scatter shot, and not only taking care of them, but making them use, use them to get kills themselves is absolutely vital here in this replay of game number 4.
And here's something interesting. Envyus, already more points than they had in the last game, hitting 7 to open this one up. Optic Gaming finally getting some control here, but players going down for both teams. That's a 2v2 situation we're currently looking at. However, power weapon control definitely over in the favor of Envy, and whoo, Hook almost getting taken out there by Frosty, but clutches it up and hits the headshot.
Yeah, more kills going in favor of Envyus. They're finally back in scoring, but they really need to be careful early on in the game as well to not give too many points to Optic Gaming. You saw Snakebite there getting a kill on Minkwin. It's Optic Gaming scoring right now, and said you need to make sure if you are Hook and the boys, you are not letting Optic Gaming get too many points, but Hook is just going for style points, man. He's shooting the scatter shot off of the floor, picking up a double kill.
Yeah, I mean, and if you can't appreciate how smart of a play that is, you have never been thrust sliding with a scatter shot in a mid-range battle there. That was amazing, the heads-up decision-making that he just used to help secure that kill and buy some extra time for Envy.
Yeah, and I said if you're Envious, you can't let Optic Gaming get too many points early on in the game. Check it out. Total control 23-9, and the question is, can they pressure the BR base and get that reset? Right now, Lethal is contesting for map control. This is the good thing to do, because even if your teammates don't get that reset, you're still going to have a good foothold in the map. Despite him going down right there, he did enough. He took down 2 players, and although his team didn't get the reset on BR base, they are still scoring and getting ever so close to that final game-winning point.
This is a scary moment here. This is already halfway past their mark to win with grabbing that new camo. We might very well, or this might very well be the last camo we see here in this game. If Snakebite's able to connect on some of these grenades, this is going to put Optic Gaming in prime position to close out the series. Fantastic job by Envy. I don't even know where this guy's necessarily hiding yet, but no, Lethal gets in the base just in time. They pick up the reset. That's going to be Envy coming off spawn here now towards bunker once again. They are 15 seconds away now, 15 points away from securing this victory and knocking Envy out of the tournament. And Envy, they've got nowhere to go. Trying to get over to contest basement here. Lethal, or excuse me, Snakebite will get in there, no, but not in time. That's a great heads-up play by Envy, putting 2 people into the stronghold. Lots of action here happening in the nest, but not gonna be enough. Like we said, only 5 more seconds. That's gonna be at least 2 dead for Envy as it is. Pistola's running towards the hill right away. Keep in mind, 55 to win the game right now. Optic Gaming tasting victory, and that was gonna be a quick replay. Nobody capturing the strongholds quite yet, and that's all she wrote there. Optic Gaming with a 4-0 sweep over Team Envy.
Absolutely flawless performance from Optic Gaming. That is the bounce back they needed before playing Splice. They 4-0 Team Envyus, and I know a lot of people in the house at the moment are going to be pretty disappointed that Envyus didn't put up a better fight, but can you blame them, really? I mean, Optic Gaming, they were just so on point in that series. Every single game, they looked like the better team, and in the end, they come out with the result as well, 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, I bet Splice caught Optic Gaming. Not that Splice did not earn their victory, but they definitely caught Optic Gaming, you know, a little surprised there.
Yeah.
And, you know, a little with their pants down, if I should say. And then Envy, you know, Rant definitely used a lot of gas in the tank, coming back with a reverse sweep over Team Liquid. That's not something easy to do. And like we've said before, time and time again, there are 4 squads. If you talk to anybody, I think everyone was saying these are going to be the top 4 teams here at the tournament. Liquid, Envy, Splice, and Optic. What I don't think a lot of people predicted was the fashion that it was going to happen. Optic Gaming elimination bracket run, along with Splice awaiting the winner in the grand finals.
Yeah, Splice guaranteed top 2 is something that a lot of people expected, just not in the fashion that they did. I would also like to give an apology for the creepy laugh when you said caught with his pants down. So, you know, I apologize for that. But yeah, Splice awaiting Optic Gaming in the finals. I can't wait to see how it's going to go down, honestly, because the first series was so electrifying. They both seemed on the top of their game, and Splice, they are currently waiting Optic Gaming, and it's weird seeing Optic Gaming coming from the elimination bracket. Let's see how they respond in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to watch how this action unfolds and who will be the HCS Atlanta DreamHack champions here. But to break down that match a little bit further, let's go back over to the analyst desk. Dan, take it away.
That Wonder Boy is pretty creepy, isn't he? He has a creepy laugh, creepy everything. I mean,
Creepy
you gotta be careful when he's around. Right, are we seeing Optic back in form then? This is more like the Optic we're meant to see, right?
This is exactly the Optic that we were meaning to see. They played phenomenal so far throughout this entire series.
Yeah, that was quite the show. I mean, opening off with the 100-1, I mean, it just snowballed out of control. And it wasn't just in one game, it was in each game, it seemed like. So yeah, Optic Gaming looking really strong. I'm curious to see how good Splice is in these finals.
I mean, 100-1, even a European team got 1 point off Optic. So, you know, us Europeans, we can match up against NA in that kind of sense. But then we went into Regret Slayer, 50-22 as well. It just seemed to get worse and worse for Envy. I mean, what went wrong overall? Like, what was the overarching story for Envy? Why couldn't they match Optic?
Honestly, when I look at the series that took place just before with Team Liquid, it just looked like there was some great plays coming out, right? We looked at Hook, we looked at Mikwin making some big plays, but they didn't have the cohesion that we're used to seeing, I would say. Strong, right? But, you know, after each match, you see in the camera, Snipe Down, he kind of grips his hand a little bit, and we know that he's feeling it over there. You know, there's some issues right there. And so not making any excuses for them necessarily, but they just didn't come out on their A game in that series. And Optic Gaming clearly showing up to this tournament.
Well, we'll dive in a little bit more into the post-match analysis. But before we do, let's find out from the man himself, Lethal, who's on the stage with Jump.
Thanks a lot, Danny G. I'm joined here with Lethal, and ruthless, I think, is the only word to describe what just happened in that last match. Obviously coming from the winners finals loss against Splice, what was your mindset coming into this next match here with Envyus?
Oh, nothing wakes you up like playing your first series of the day and getting spanked by some 15-year-olds. So definitely, I don't know, they surprised us. They were playing really well though. We would have had to be playing basically as good as we just did then to match that. So props to them. And we just, I don't know, we just kind of said whatever. We went back and played right away and watched the Liquid Envy series.
Now, you had a little bit of a break, obviously, after your first match before you guys ended up playing this one. What were the communications like backstage as you guys were getting ready for this match?
You know, pretty much as normal. We just went back and played. You know, in our heads, we're probably all blaming each other. You know, we're like, God, I saw that guy mess up so bad. But I didn't hear anything. But I don't know. Even though we placed really high and win a lot, we all lost for like 10 years straight before we won anything. So, I mean, I got pretty good at losing. So.
Well, endurance definitely is the name of the game for you guys. Now, you get the rematch, grand finals coming up next. How do you feel this is going to be different, and what are you guys going to change from a team standpoint against Splice next?
I think we're definitely just playing better overall for us, and we're just going to expect them to come out and play as well as they did in that last series. So if they're playing that well, we're probably going to have to match what we just did, and hopefully it's a good series, hopefully not too long. I want to watch Game of Thrones.
It's coming on in a little bit. Well, the Snakes did take out the green wall, but brick by brick, they're going to try to build it back up. The grand finals are going to be coming up very soon, but we want to do a little bit more breakdown. So we're going to kick it back over to Danny, Butters, and Ghostiame. Guys, it's all you.
Yeah, I mean, Lethal, sort it out. I want to watch Game of Thrones as well. I think we all do. I think we all feel the same. But the trouble is, if Optic play well, we're going to be going into a second best of 7. But let's move back on into that previous game then. We were at Game 3, I think. It was Coliseum Capture the Flag, Game 3. It all started going downhill ever since that Lethal no-scope. There was a point where Lethal just picked up the sniper, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, right in the face. And then suddenly, it just seemed like Envy fell apart. As soon as there is an ounce of hope, they were crushed by Optic.
Yeah, some of the clips that we saw were just astronomically talented. You know, we saw no-scope after no-scope, quick-scope after quick-scope. But yeah, like you said, it was just a little bit back and forth until Lethal showed up. And then, you know, it was 2-1, I think, at one point in that flag game. But yeah, they ran away with it towards the end.
Yeah, and again, this is like the pros. Everybody is amazing with sniper. So the second they heard that somebody was on blue sniper ramp, there was no one wanting to show their face in their own base. Envy was forced to go through bottom middle, underneath their base, or just take off to the other side because they knew there was no way they were going to get inside their own base with any of the Optic members paying attention to their spawns.
Snakebite's flag movement as well in that game was absolutely insane. He would run that flag. It didn't matter where he ran it, but he'd always be looking out for opponents. It's not like he was just running, heading towards his base, always using that flagnum to full effect, and I think that was why they had so much success on Coliseum Capture the Flag. Then we went to Game 4, and we were all wondering, can Envyus do the reverse sweep, the unthinkable? The answer was no. Okay, yes, the game was a little bit stagnated, but in the end, we saw Mikwin at the start. He got scattershot, he got railgun. We thought he had all the goodies, and then he popped out. He got killed early on. And again, it just went downhill. It just seemed like there was no hope for Envy.
I mean, even off the start, you talk about Mikwin grabbing the scatter shot in the railgun, right? But right off the beginning of that kind of like, I guess you could say game 4.5,
yep.
we saw Mikwin off the start push on down, grab the scatter shot, and Snipe Down actually was right there with him, but he focused on a guy rail 1 rather than a guy in that little zigzag area. And just right off the get-go, I was thinking, you know, they're off sync. There's something wrong there. Normally they would be team shooting the same guy, and right there, right in the beginning, it just was off. So I don't know, it was concerning.
Yeah, and for me, like I told you from the last series, Hook was absolutely going off, and I told you Optic really knows how to take down a star player. And Hook, we didn't really see too much of Hook. You know, he was just like, yeah, he was getting some shots, but he wasn't going off. No killing frenzies here, not against Optic. And, you know, Strongholds on the rig, it's something that Optic is really familiar with, of course, and just have dominated in scrim series throughout all the online scrims.
Well, Optic moved forward to the grand final. Unfortunately, Envyus fall to just third place.
Take that, Mike.
Yep. Unfortunately, Mike doesn't get his predictions right. But for you, Ghost,
yes,
I hear you've got some exciting news for us.
Yeah, actually, Microsoft, we've been working on a nice little program. We actually are working across the country with over 50 Microsoft stores in North America, and also some in Puerto Rico and Australia as well. And, you know, just come out. We have community events, little tournaments in there, ranging from free-for-all to doubles to 4v4. And we got some good giveaways there as well. There's some, you know, some low-end prizes, but also the infamous Xbox One X as well. So we are doing some cool giveaways. And, you know, as a guy that used to compete early on, going to locals, going to these little events, I mean, having that type of community, it's amazing. So I got to give it props. And, yeah, no, I think that we got a nice little thing in store for you. So it's pretty awesome.
Sounds very exciting indeed. Well, up next we have the grand final here at DreamHack Atlanta. It's going to be Optic Gaming versus Splice, the rematch. Can Optic battle back, or are Splice going to be crowned new champions?